yo. Welcome to the Big Al Podcast. It's your boy Big Al in the building. Yeah, so this episode today is about relationships, social media, and I had a family member that wanted me to kind of address that and then talk about, you know, about getting married and when is the right time. So I'm gonna go ahead and touch on some of the things, but let's just talk about climate of relationships in this day and age. Like, you got social media. Social media, I think, plays a big part on why some relationships don't work out. You got so many platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, just all that stuff. And for the public, a lot of people like to, put their business out there, especially when they're having issues with their significant other. Like, they go on Facebook and they'll go like, "Oh, I don't want to mess with this person no more," or "I'm sad. I feel like I'm just by myself." And you got people that's chatty patties like to comment like, "Oh, he or no good," or "she is no good," and it's messing up a lot, especially in today's youngsters and relationships. It's like social media kind of like ruined, and it's affected relationship. Just for instance, let's just say if you having issues with your partner, right? And the first thing you do, let's go pre-social media. You go without social media before internet even became big, or during the infancy, or during when internet was kind of bubbling. You'll go out and just leave, like, I'm gonna go in the next room and cool off, or I'm gonna go leave, or I'm gonna just, talk to a friend, which is a big mistake. Should never tell people about your relationship issues. Should work that out with your significant other, or you go to the bar, have a beer, and drink your problems away, or just other lithium of things. Versus now, we got this tool here, the smartphone, and what do? You go on Facebook and you make a post like, "Ah, this no good, motherfucker," or "the motherfucker ain't help paying this," or "they ain't paying child support." There's a lot of shit for people to see, and hey, people naturally is gonna comment because they might be going through the same shit too. So they're gonna comment on it and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going through the same shit too. This is happening to me," or "such and such ain't worth a shit." But when we get in relationships, people show you a side of themselves. Like, if you paying attention, I have a blinders on, you'll kind of see what that person is all about that you're messing with. You know, they say, well, they didn't have display that in the beginning because at the beginning, we're not paying no attention to it. You know, you court each other, you're talking like, "Hey, my name's such and such, boom, boom, boom," or you want to go out on the date, you want to do this, you want to do that. And then they show like little signs, and, and squeeze them on in as the relationship goes. Some to my experience that I experienced, and then boom, all hell break loose. You're like, "Damn, I didn't see this person in the beginning." And I think we all have a taste of that because we trying to show our best side when we getting to know the person that we're trying to get with. If we trying to get in a relationship, or if we just, being a player, we just try to show that side so we can keep them on the side you know, for whatever they service for. But the social media thing is really affecting uh, relationships goals, as they would say. Now, I'm just giving my opinion because these are some of the questions that I was asked by, some female family members, and some that I may talk to around that want to know these answers. But like I said, social media to me is the number one ruler of why relationships is kind of crumbling. You can't keep a steady. Some people can't keep a steady one because the wandering eye is a hell of a thing. And as men are visual. So like with men being in a relationship, they're gonna tend to look unless you have unconditional love for your woman or the woman have unconditional love for their man, what they're gonna do, they're gonna be like, oh, this motherfucker, look at it, he look like this or such look like that because is a wandering eye. That's why back then, back in the Old Testament, men had several wives that lived polygamous. You know what I'm saying? Because God, He made the man with a wandering eye. That's what they did back then. They had a lot of wives, and that's sort of coming back with men. Men with different women. But God to give us eyes, and this is why He allowed back then for them to have several women. But it wasn't considered cheating then, but it's like considered cheating now. But in today's climate, shit, you got all these diseases going around, so is you have to stick with the person you with. That's the best thing, especially if they treating you right and treating you with respect. Then you should be ride with that person. If not, then you just go and you be single because for real, like when women, they say the main thing with the man is when they cheat or they have cheating problems. But at the end of the day, I think the woman, you gotta blame yourself. Sometimes women they can go they force relationships. Same thing as men can force a relationship because they want to be with you so bad. And then when the outcome of getting cheated on, when they get cheated on, he or she, whoever does the cheating, then that's where the big issue comes about. Like, oh, that motherfucker ain't faithful. Like, I think relationships need to be like it should be organically. Like, you should both have work towards to have the same feel for each other. Like, I don't care like what nobody say when you meet a person. Like if when you meet a person, they go for man, woman, vice versa. You're gonna know if you're gonna vibe with that person. Then you're gonna see like significant signs like, okay, I like this person's style, I like this or like that. But then if you try to vibe with somebody and they got a shitty attitude, but you still like them and y'all might go out and date, and she carries that shitty attitude, you're like, damn, I ain't trying to fuck with this. And that's when you sometimes like, you know what, you go, you meet another woman, and that's where you get comfortable with her because you can vibe with her, and that's how that cheating starts. Like when you vibing with another person and they bringing other stuff to the table that the other person doesn't bring. It's like a supplement, and men and women cheat. Everybody has cheat. Yeah, someone like, oh, I'm loyal. No, every woman, I say, let's say 90% of women has probably cheated. Just like we'll say 90% of the men have cheated, but everybody give different reasons of why they cheated, of what was lacking in their relationship per se. Instead of my opinion, like when you meet somebody, you should meet them, but still date other people. Because when you're dating other people, you get a vibe of a sense of what kind of person that you want. What you manifested. Especially if you're young, if you're like in your 20s or stuff like that, and you're dating. It's like in the 20s when you date, it's like a big soap opera. Everybody's dating everybody when they're younger. Everybody getting passed around and everybody cheating. Because when you get older, you're getting in this world, and you becoming an adult, and you meeting different people. It's not like being a teenager now. You open up yourself new. and you might get with a person that might show you something that you never had before or never felt before. So it's like kind of a different ball game, so to speak. And then with the, like I said, we get back to the cheat thing with the cheat. Like, man, women cheat. I've been cheated on several times, and back when I was younger, I did the same thing too when I was in my 20s because I was confused. I didn't know at that time what I wanted. I thought that was like the standard. I figured like if I'm not married, I could do what I want to do. Until I decide which I am married and have a lovely wife and been on the straight narrow because I found the one that I manifested for, that I wanted to be with. In the past, I didn't manifest who I wanted to be with. I kind of was like, all right, this is the flavor of the month or the year or whatever, how long we were together or whatever. But when I was with, as younger with some of my peoples, I, you know, got out there and did my thing. So I won't say those names who they were I was hanging with because I'm pretty sure they married and committed relationships. But that's what we did when we were younger because we're not thinking about dating. And back then, social media wasn't big. So when we met women's and stuff, it was through the club or the little chat line, but it was mostly through the club for me and, the crew that I was with, that I was hanging with. We met them in clubs and, we had a good time and stuff like that. Like I said, we wasn't like really ready for the commitment. And this is where it goes to when you mess with somebody, you got to lay the boundaries of what you want this relationship to be. Do you want it to be an open one or do you want to be committed? But when you get into committed a relationship, you got to be committed. That's what you got to stand on. Because women or man, or vice versa. Say they go for a man on a woman and a woman on a man. And when we discussing on how we want this relationship to go, we got to be honest and upfront. Because in the time now, in this social media era, like, man, shit, hey, you be like, man, I got some blunts and some liquor. Let's do this shit. Like, I'm not saying that ain't what happened back in the time that I was coming up in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? But you got to it was kind of caveat. You at least had to, spit something to entice them because, but at the end of the day, the woman know if they're going to, give you something or not, they're going to fool around with you if you even mess with somebody or not, or vice versa. The man probably going to know if he's going to fool with you or not on his woman. He already got it in his mind already. So it's like now we have to be honest on whoever we date. We gotta keep bring the honesty back into the pearls of relationship because social media is here to stay and everything social, even with TV shows influence, like sometimes influence our date because we see this fucking reality shit and these women on here and bitching about this or this motherfucker doing this to them, and a lot of women pick up on that because they feel like, oh, my dude doing the same thing. We got to get out the social media shit and get back to being on some true shit. We got to be like, hey, this is what I want this relationship to be. And just be honest because, some women don't do it. Some women, they still, fuck around on you. And I'm not bashing, like coming to bash no women because I'm saying this for the dude too, but a woman can get away and cheat because they won't get themselves away. You know what I'm saying? Unless they put it out on social media. But if they keeping it, to themselves or that dude ain't no stalker, they can go out, tell you, honey, I love you, I'm going to work, kiss. And they out here blowing on Joe's pole and shit. Come back and give you a kiss and shit like that. Because they good cheaters. Just be honest, some women are good cheaters. I read a post on Facebook. I had a Facebook friend of mine, a guy that I do look up to because been on him for a long time, and he posted on Facebook about him getting cheated on in every relationship. Just tell you how slick a woman can be. And now we got the social media, so now it's really out. Like a woman can cheat and get away for a long time now. Motherfucker will be up in the chick's inbox and shit. And then, if you feel some type of way, he or she, they gonna screenshot the shit and show you. And a woman gonna hint like, ah man, this motherfucking nigga ain't acting right. So what you gonna do? Social media gonna get underneath that post and then you gonna put something on this motherfucker like, hey, I want you. I'm gonna fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna treat you right. But man, look, as a man, we're gonna treat them the same way they was treated with the other guy. If we know what type of woman they are, we're gonna be like, man, we're gonna treat you like it's like we're gonna slut bucket you out like you being slut bucket out. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll get to the point where then they want to be in a relationship, even for a man. Like shit, we like a car, we take different spins riding around the block. Then when it's that time for some players, they be like, I'm ready to settle down because you're beaten and broken up. Same thing for a woman. Women are players too. Y'all just real good at what y'all do. Some of y'all can play victim on social media, but if some people know the real, we know the real. We know how how y'all play our game and how y'all can get away with the shit. And this leads to being in toxic relationships. It ain't even got to be with cheating, toxic relationship. And this goes back to when we dating people. When we date people, we sometimes we date for the wrong reason. We might date because like, oh man, I see a meal ticket here, or I might date this person because they got some kind of prestige or they are part of something. Instead of when you dating, getting to know that person and and as y'all court and just getting to know what makes them tick, what pisses them off, so that way you can avoid getting in situations. But ain't no relationship is perfect, but you don't want to be in a toxic relationship where you got your partner, going out. They might be alcoholic or something. You don't like that, but you still stick with the person and you going through all this shit with them, or they might be on drugs or something, and you going through all this shit with them. And then, you still love him. Like, oh yeah, he toxic or she toxic, but I still love him. Like, you're actually being an enabler. We got to get rid of this toxicity relationships, and bring me back with social media, Facebook, and all that toxic for relationships. Like, and it's just toxic. Period. Because, like I said, one thing you do wrong, they go type it on Facebook like, ah man, blah, 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 Joe Blow did this. Like, everybody don't have to know your business. It's not about that. It's really about you know being a stand up person, or being loyal to the person you with as life progresses on and y'all start dating and y'all be together if that's what you want. But if not, if you're gonna be single, go ahead and just start date other people, like, and let that person know. That way there won't be no extreme strings attached. Now let's just say if you get into a relationship, I always say it should be 60-40, because the man should be the leader in the relationship. The man, us man, we have the strength that God gave us that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be the natural leaders and the head of the household. But we got a lot of Women like, no, it's got to be 50-50. No. Are you going to go out there and cut the grass? Or you going to go out and take the trash? Or you going to go and fix the car yourself? And you got some women that can do that. But, for the average woman, they're not going to do that. So it should be 60-40. Bring 40 to the table, and I'm going to bring 60 to the table because I'm the leader and I'm the man. I'm gonna be the guide. I'm gonna be the person that takes care of home or whatever. Then you want to go by what your partner brings to a relationship. Like you want to manifest. You want to know what your partner brings, far as of what you're doing. You want to. Some people and about the high maintenance thing. Like I've heard some people be like, if a guy talk to a girl like, oh, she high maintenance, or the woman talk to the guy, or he's high maintenance. No, I don't call it high maintenance. I call it you wanting what you want, or what you desire, what you manifest. Because in relationships, I think we deserve to get everything that we want out of it if we're working towards that. If that person instills what you want. Because if you get with a person and they don't want what you want, the relationship is not going to work. It may work for a while, but then you'll see the true nature of the person. You're going to be like, man, I don't want to deal with that. Then we go back to the toxic relationship. This where the toxic comes in. Like toxic social media ties in to this whole realm situation. And if it's gonna be toxic, you ought to be in an open relationship. Be like, look, what I'm saying, I want to go and date this person and vice versa. Because that way you get tired of each other, you just go to the other person that you messing with if you choose that you want to do that. So I had another woman she asked me, she said, why do men, like, I guess she feel that she's a all woman. So she wants to know, like, well, why do men go for the woman with the bonnets and this and that? I'm like, first of all, I would tell the person when she was telling me, I was like, you have to ask yourself, like, why the relationship that you with man or who you with is not working. First, you gotta go and see the motherfuckers you fucking with. If you fucking with a motherfucker that don't want to work, don't have no ambition, then you gonna get the bullshit. I think with some women it's all about the sex because they like, oh, he's making me feel good. But then when your light's about to go out, they can't pay it, saying sex ain't gonna pay the bills. A wet coochie ain't gonna pay the bills because that's who you decide that you wanted to be with. You wanted to be with that person knowing they can't contribute to how you trying to live life, and if you high maintenance, they can't contribute to that, and now you lowering your standards for this person instead of just being like, you know what, I want to avoid those type of people because when you get older in life, the people that you would date in the past you wouldn't date. Like I'm married now. Like my wife met the standards that I wanted out of a woman. You know, I had manifested what I wanted after being through a lot of bullshit and be too putting a lot of people through bullshit. I said, look, this is the standards that I want. This is what I desire. This is what I want. And when I manifested, everything came to how I wanted. And relatively, I got married, quick, but I knew that was the woman for me. I knew she met the qualifications that I wanted. Same with her. with me, I met all her qualifications. We bring in kids together. You know, we a family. We talk through our situations. It's not always perfect, but we talk through our situations, and we love each other, and we're at an age to where we could do that. And we both had our funds when we were younger, so we at an age now where we can enjoy each other now, being like, damn, I want to go out and I want to go mess with this person. Like, you get that out your system. And I knew the woman I wanted, so I manifested. So with the one of my female cousins that asked me about that, about the bonnets and stuff, like, man, it really don't no matter what the hell you got on your head, really, for real, because it's kind of a stereotype thing. It's just, you know, saying to my cousin, she need to pick better. Man, you gotta pick somebody, especially if you at the age, she's in her 40s, I won't say her name. You gotta pick the guys that's gonna be there, do something for you. Y'all gonna have a future together, and y'all want the same goals y'all want to reach. You can't deal with the hood niggas. Well, you got to get past that. You got to move on from that. And once you move on from that, you make better choices on who you want to be with. Instead of keep dealing with the same fucked up motherfuckers, and you the one putting the effort in, and you the one paying the tab, so to speak. And at the end, you get left with nothing. So, cuzzy, just got to pick better, man. I won't say your name, and I'll try to get you to talk about it, but that's how it is. And plus, two, when men like, the hood chicks, they got some things that's required that they like. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they want. And if you're dealing with those type of dudes, you might want to leave them alone and deal with a person that meets your needs and standards. You feel me? So that's the answer your question. And and another, female family member asked me, she's dating. Hope you watched the show, but she's dating, and she asked me, she said, when is the right time to get married? And my answer to that is like, it's not really, you don't really know a right time. It's just something that happens, but you gotta let it happen organically. Like, you got people say like, I gotta beat this motherfucker for like 10, 11 years before we get married, or I gotta get to know this person. Like, marriage is not for everybody, because some people don't take marriage seriously. I just seen people get married for total different reasons. To me, when some people get married, they get married for, it's like a business arrangement, because it's like, okay, this person bringing this, so I got to keep them. So and some people get married because they're pressured into getting married. They feel like, I got to marry this person or I'm gonna lose them, because you got women and men that be on that marriage shit. Like, well, we've been together for all these years, especially women. Been together for all these years, and you ain't put a ring on it. To me, uh, a ring doesn't symbolize nothing, because when people get married people cheat. You see it on Facebook, but a ring doesn't symbolize nothing. Your heart and how you feel for that person, and what you show to the public about the significant other, that's what really counts. A ring is nothing but just a symbol. It might be some European shit, for real, you know. But I know I'm married to my wife, and I don't need a ring, so we need to get this, put a ring on this shit off the table. You gotta let it happen organically. So, cause I don't know how long you've been dating a guy or whatever, but if you see a future with this person, guy, keep rocking and rolling. And if everything, just make sure y'all accomplish what y'all want to accomplish first, outside like y'all career goals. And if everything meets your requirements, then that's a discussion that should be had. But until then, just keep focused on building, building for the future. Like if you're trying to get a house or something, or you're trying to get your career going, or what you want to do, you have to build on that, and then you know go on to marriage because they like 24 or something like that, 25, so they still relatively young, so they learning, and that's my advice I'm going to give Cuzzy about that because I remember she wanted me to do a show on it. So I figured I put it on here to let her know my answer, and I hope you watch it. And then we got another question that I had about gold diggers from a homie of mine. He wanted me to kind of broach it a little bit about gold diggers. Like this is where I go back to what a woman know what they want is about the honesty fact. Now, go gold digger. You can't necessarily say like women or a man that's got a woman money or gold diggers because you got a woman that's want to take care of their man or they man want to take care of their woman and they don't want them to do anything or whatever. And you got some people look at them as gold diggers because they got the man with the money and they figure that's what they use them for. But 9 times out of 10, like I don't see the gold digger. Like how can you be a a gold digger because a woman gonna tell you off rip what they want. I know I had another family member who I think we were talking. It was a long time ago. We was having a conversation about relationships and whatever. And she said, "If I date a man, if I want a pair of shoes and I want them that day, and if he can't provide that, I don't want to be with the guy." So is it gold digging? Not really, because she told you what she wanted from the get go. Like gold digging is what you if you put yourself in that position to be gold digging, because you can always say no, but once you get that, give them that green light, and you choose to be Johnny on the spot. So when they ask for this and ask for that, or they want this, I want that, they're not gold digging. They told you like, hey, this is what I want out the relationship. I I want this right here. So you gotta take heed to it. It's not like you surprised and you being gold digged or you being used. You're not being used. Yeah, you just they already told you. You just gotta you know either be like nay or yay because we all in a relationship use each other. We're not in a relationship, but far as like if you single and you dating, we use each other because we might use each other for sex, might use each other because you got a place to stay and I'm trying to stay there, so I'm going to use it for that. So that will uh makes the world go round. You know what I'm saying? So then I got one more question before I close it. Somebody asked me like, if you've been single for many years, is it too late to be in a committed relationship, especially if you're used to living a certain way? And my answer to that is like, it's never too late. You know, I got married at uh, 40 years old. I got married 41, 40, 41. I got married, so it's never too late. But you just don't want to rush no relationship. You don't want to just get in one because you feel like the clock is ticking. You want to get in the right one because they love you. You see something in them, and you can build a future with them. You know, this never too late. They, like I said, this social media shit. It feel like, well, if I ain't been in a relationship in 20 some years, then why get in one now? We all get lonely. We all want companionship. Especially when you get at the age when you get lonely and your kids be grown, you be like, shit, it's just me. So why not open up to be with somebody and share the years that you have left with the person you love and get in that relationship. You know, find you somebody to love. I feel like I'm the love doctor. Shit. But that was my time. That was my episode. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and God bless. The Big Al Podcast. Feel me, dog.